Wow, I look tired. Hiya guys, welcome back to my channel. Apologies if it looks like I just got out of an office, because I literally did. So for this video I wanted to talk to you guys about my experience auditioning for the London College of Music. Woo! Now, to preface, I didn't get in last year. Oh well. And I auditioned for the BA acting course, which was I think the first year they started running it. So I started this audition doing what I did with most of the others, and that was travelling down to London. I stayed overnight in, I think it was like a hotel or an inn or whatever, with my aunt, which was quite sweet. So the day after I went down, I went along and I found the place. I got there about 45 minutes early. You walk in and, I mean, it looks like what it is. It looks like a modern university, you know? It doesn't look bad, but like, it looks nice. And the people there were nice and welcoming, or as much as you can be in that situation. The pieces I had to learn in preparation were a modern monologue of a certain time length. It was probably 2 to 3 minutes. And this might throw some people off. I also had to learn a Shakespearean sonnet. Yeah. Pushing the boat out, LCM. I'm not sure why. I don't know why. Maybe because. Oh, and we also had to learn a song. Even if you were doing acting, you had to learn a song. I did... Jeez, I can't even remember what I did. Well, that's great. And also something you had to prepare for the LCM audition that you didn't have to for any of the other places I auditioned for. An essay. I can't even remember now what exactly it entailed. I think it was about 1,000 to 2,000 words, something like that. But it was generally about why you wanted to go to the London College of Music, why you wanted to act, why you wanted to do that course, potentially why you chose the pieces you did. But yeah, that was certainly something. I remember I literally did it like, I think it was the night before or the week before or something, which is classic shares, but also not great. You had to give over a piece of photographic identification for them to take a picture of. I used my passport photo, but I think you can use basically anything that looks roughly like you. And looking around, like, London College of Music, it's not an accredited drama school, but it's very much like one. However, it did feel very like a regular uni walking around, which is something I'm sure a lot of people either like or they dislike. So yeah, got there, handed it all over. I spent the first, well, however long I was there, I talked to a few of the people that were also there to audition for acting or musical theatre, because musical theatre and acting auditions happened on the same day that you audition for, I think probably for most of the auditions. And you work together for the first workshop-y part of the audition. So we went through, we were kind of all introduced to the audition panel. Well, they weren't really a panel, they were more like, we were introduced to the audition people, I'll just say that. We all did a warm-up together. Then we were split into groups and told to devise a small physical theatre piece. There might have actually been some more things that we did between, you know, the warm-up and the devised piece for the workshop, but it didn't go on that long. And yeah, I can't really remember anything else that stood out. And then they split the people who were doing musical theatre auditions and acting auditions into 2 groups, and we all went off into separate rooms. The people who were doing acting and the people who were doing musical theatre, note some of them were mixed in together. It wasn't separated by course, it was just for convenience that we weren't all huddled together. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking, I'm not making sense, I'm too tired for this. Yeah, then we went off into our groups, we did a vocal warm-up, and then they made us do a little quiz. It was kind of all relative to musical theatre things, and you had to answer things like, what musical did you think the piece you heard played on the piano just now? What did you think that was from? And they would play a note on the piano, and they asked you to place where you thought that note was on a musical scale. And if you're like me and you just like to act and you have very, very little knowledge of musical theory, then it didn't go great. I like musicals, but I'm not great at listening to things by ear. But yeah, after that, which was a bit of a mind blow, we then went on and we did our songs, I think. I don't know why, this one particular audition kind of just blurs into one big moment in my mind. I think my song went okay. I ended up going up into my head voice rather than my belt for a lot of it, which I wasn't very happy with. I was like, no, Cherie, should have warmed up more. Plus, looking back, I don't think the song was right for me anyway. I think it was potentially the wrong age group and not one I necessarily was in love with. I think it was then that we did the monologues and things. And things. Because even musical theatre people, if I remember right, had to prepare some monologues. Yes, no, I remember. Musical theatre people, and don't take this as gospel because I did not look into most of what the musical theatre people had to do for their courses, but they had to do a monologue like the acting people did, but instead of a sonnet, they had to learn a lyrical monologue. So they had to take a piece from a musical and they had to like strip the rhythm out, strip all the singing out from it, and basically act it as if it was an acting monologue rather than a song. I hope that makes some sort of sense. I know what I mean in my head, but I don't know if I've translated it well. So if you're doing musical theatre, that's what you have to do. Or that's what you did have to do last year. Double check your resources. So I did my sonnet first. We all did our sonnets first, or our musical theatre monologue things. And I thought mine went okay. I don't really know with Shakespeare. I wasn't really fussed either way about the sonnet I did, but yeah. Then the acting people did their other monologues. Mine did not go well. They stopped a lot of us and redirected the pieces, which is something I would never say to read into wherever you're auditioning or whatever you're doing. But with mine, I knew coming out of the room afterwards that they weren't overly impressed, purely because of the fact that they didn't really have a clue what was going on with it. Or more specifically, the woman on the panel said that if she didn't know the play herself, she would not have known what was going on. And they asked a few people all around the room what they thought was going on, and they couldn't really tell me. So that was great. Great moral support from my peers there. But no, again, that was a piece I was not comfortable with, which I didn't realise until looking back that I didn't like it. I can't change it. So yeah, they kind of redirected it, moved me around a bit. And then that was basically the end of the audition. And then I went home. I think I had a prep beforehand, but honestly, the prep was the best bit of the day. So yeah. Like I said before, I didn't get in. I got an email through from UCAS a few weeks later. They were actually very, very good at getting back to me quickly. But if you cannot already tell from my tone of voice, I wasn't that fussed about it. I just don't think it was for me. And I think that's fine. I think you know as soon as you walk into a place whether or not you can see yourself there in the future. Would I have gone there if they'd accepted me? Probably hell yes, because at the time I would have just wanted to get in somewhere. However, the knowledge I gained about doing particular monologue pieces was invaluable. It was definitely something I need to remember for the future. And they did give a lot of good advice when they were redirecting people's monologues and songs and things. And it also made me realise I should probably start learning musical theory, because you never know when that's going to crop up. But best of luck if you're auditioning for the London College of Music, or if you're auditioning for Rose Bruford, which I should have said in my previous video, but I didn't, and I can't go back and change time. I haven't really got any particular tips to round off this video, because I don't think there were necessarily any mistakes made that haven't already been covered. My monologue I didn't like and wasn't right for me. I should have practiced my song more, probably, and acted more through that, rather than just try and focus on the singing. And the place didn't feel right to me, but that's not really something I can give you tips and tricks about. Okay, well, that's that. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope this gave you a bit of an idea of what to expect from your London College of Music audition if you've got one coming up, or maybe it made you relive some fond or not so fond memories from a past audition you did there. Either way, I hope you were mildly to slightly entertained. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it aight, or I'm never doing that again. And subscribe if you'd like to see more of me looking like a 13-year-old who just got out of high school for the day. Alright, thank you guys. See ya! It actually feels like it's gonna overheat. If that bulb bursts, then I'm probably dead. I don't know. I don't know what that does to people if bulbs burst in their face.